Alright, to this a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is I'm 54. If you're in your 30s or 40s, watch this. Alright, well, we're here. I'm sure this is why you guys sent this to me. Let's check it out. Let's see where this goes. This is coming from the channel Smart Money Bro.
As of the making of this video, I'm 54 years old.
Okay.
Now, if I could go back to my 30 or 40-year-old self and give myself some financial advice.
Oh, currently I'm 37, so let's learn.
Here's what I'd say. So
All
the
right.
first piece of advice that I would give myself is that you have to save yourself. Nobody is coming through that door to rescue you from the mistakes or anything that you've done with your money or want to do with your money. It's on
Absolutely.
you. Your money is your responsibility. You may have to encourage yourself. You may have to motivate yourself and inspire your own self, but it's all on you. Nobody's
Bro, is this a financial video?
coming to rescue you. The
Maybe.
second thing I would tell myself is that you may have to cut some people off out of your life. People who are not going in the same direction you're going when it comes to your money or your life. And you're going to have to attach yourself to those people who are going the direction
Forward,
you're going
right.
in life
Absolutely.
and with money. Or people who have been where you are and are at where you want to get to. So
I'm gonna be honest, bro. This is some really good advice because, again, cut people off regularly. Listen, when you realize that these individuals that you knew for a really, really, really long time are starting to basically do nothing, everything is becoming stagnant. You're doing the same exact thing all the time, but yet you never see any type of upward mobility. Yeah, bro, it's time for them to go.
or people who have been where you are and are at where you want to get to. So
Right.
don't waste time with the wrong people around you. Now, the third thing I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is don't be afraid to make changes, okay?
Okay.
And do things differently. Don't get caught doing things the same way you've always done them, right? Because if you do things the same way you always do it, you're going to end up getting the same results that you
results.
always got. So you got to do things different. And look, don't be afraid of doing things differently. Sometimes fear holds us back. Don't let that fear keep you from doing what you got to do. You may have
That's
to make
valid.
some major adjustments and
That's
some
valid.
major changes, but you got to keep going despite fear. But push yourself to dream big financially and put on your big boy pants and get it done. Now, the fourth thing that I would probably tell my 30-year-old or 40-year-old self is that stuff ain't that important
Nope.
when it's all said and done, right? You really want to put your money to work in the background. Who cares about stuff? In the end, stuff don't even matter as much as you may think it matters. It really don't matter that much, right? What matters more is your money going to work for you and working real hard for you back there where nobody can see it. So I would tell myself, hey, don't spend time trying to look rich and look like you got something, but focus that energy on getting wealthy in the back.
Say that again, bro. Let me run that back for those individuals who may not have heard that adequately. Absolutely, right? Listen. I don't care about none of these things. Right? The most important thing is to make sure your family is great and you're saving money, because you're going to get to a point in your life you do not want to surprise you, right? Where you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to consistently bring money in. So you want to make sure that you're saving while you're actually at the point where you can do that, right? Most important thing in the world is to make sure you're saving adequately, if you can. Anything, literally anything counts, right? Just as long as you're consistently moving your goal forward. And then obviously, once you get to a certain point, you can then do exactly what he's saying, right? Put your money somewhere where that money, you can basically grow through, I'm guessing, dividends, most likely is what he's referring to, by some means at least.
Rich and look like you got something, but focus that energy on getting wealthy in the back, right? Where people can't see it and it's none of their business to see it. They shouldn't be seeing it. Now, the fifth thing I would tell myself is invest more money if you can. Stretch yourself to put more money away towards your investments as early as possible. If you're 35, 36, 37, 32, 40, put away as much money as possible. The sooner you start doing that, the more compound interest can really go to work on your behalf. Look, you're going to
Compounding
pay for
interest,
it anyway.
okay.
You're going to pay when you're 60 or you're going to pay when you're 30. I
Right.
suggest you pay it when you're 30, when you have the energy, you have the good health, and you're motivated when you're 30 years old. Pay for it at 30 so you can chill when you're 60. because you don't want to pay for it when you're 60 and regret the fact that you didn't pay for it when you was 30. Now,
right, then have to be forced to live off of Social Security. Yeah, he's right. Okay. I appreciate you guys sending this to me, bro. Great information.
Pay for it when you're 60 and regret the fact that you didn't pay for it when you was 30. Now, that takes me to the sixth thing. The sixth thing I'd probably tell myself is start now, don't wait. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. Look, it's hard to just turn it on when you're 50, 55 years old. And if you're 50, 55 years old, let me know in the comments if what I'm saying is right. When you get to be 50, 55, 60, 65, you don't want to have to turn it on all of a sudden and start saving a whole bunch of money.
Right.
You sort of wish you had done that when you was 30 years old or 35 years old. You ever see like a game that's a 4-quarter game, and towards the end of the game, you see the team working real hard and really hustling real hard, and you're asking yourself, well, why wasn't you doing all that hard work in the first quarter and in the second quarter? Why you wait till 6 minutes to go at the end of the game to turn it on, right? Apply that to your life. In the first part of your life, get busy, go with it, go hard, right? So turn it on as soon as you can, and don't wait till the end of the fourth quarter to start getting really serious about this thing. Now, the seventh thing I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is to exercise, walk, keep your body in shape, keep your body in good physical condition so that you're here for the long haul, right? What good is it to have a whole lot of money if you're not in good shape and good physical condition to enjoy it? Now,
right, because I mean, you run into people who are super wealthy and their health is just completely failing, and they just wish that they were not in that very specific, predicament. All that money, but you can't buy what you actually need, bro. That's valid.
The thing I would say to myself, my 30 or 40-year-old self, is forgive your parents as soon as you can. Your parents probably did the absolute best they could do with what they had. Maybe they didn't have a whole bunch of money. Maybe they didn't send you to this type of school or that school, or buy you this or buy you that. Look, the sooner you can forgive your parents and move on, the better. Don't live back there in the past. Look, all parents, all people, all humans, we all make mistakes. We make mistakes in life and with money. Don't beat yourself up. And make sure you forgive you and you forgive your parents for whatever took place in the past. And you need to live life moving forward, looking forward. The key is to recognize those mistakes, forgive, and move on. Keep going forward. Now, the ninth thing I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is simply what you focus on is going to grow, right? Whatever you put intention to and energy behind is what's going to flourish. It's going to flourish in the direction where you put that energy at. If you come to a situation with your personal finances and you're putting a lot of energy into being negative, that's going to grow, and it's going to fester, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But
positive energy is much more impressive, I'd say, than any other type of negative energy, bro. Right? Just remain positive. Just remain positive. Just remain positive. That's it. You'll win.
If you take all that energy and you put it towards something positive regarding your personal finances, then that's what's going to grow in that direction. See, because abundance and lack are all around us. They're everywhere. Everywhere we look, we have people that are abundant and people that are lacking and don't have as much, right? The key is this: we get what we choose to focus on.
Right.
So what I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is focus on the abundance. Don't focus on the lack. Focus on what you can do, what you can have, and put that energy there so that is what begins to take place and manifest in your life, whether it's your life or your personal finances, right? Spend more energy and focus and time and money on fixing problems and growing than you spend on trying to figure out who's at fault. Who's to blame? How terrible those mistakes are. Don't put your energy there. Put your energy on the positive. Put your focus on what's next, what's coming, what's possible, and keep that positive energy and that positive mindset. And you'll have abundance because you're focusing on abundance.
Right.
The 10th thing I would say to myself is simply this, guys. Today, you are as young as you will ever be. If you're 30 years old and you're watching this, if you're my 40-year-old former self, hey, you only get older from here. Time doesn't wait on you. And the older you get, the faster time passes us by. So you don't get moments back. You don't get days back. Oftentimes, you don't get opportunities back. You got to seize the opportunities that are put before you with both money and time, right? Now, the 11th thing that I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is that your life and your money changes when you change. Your life and your money gets better when you get better. Your money and your life will improve when you improve. You want things to change with your money? You want to have more money? You want to have more investments? You got to make some changes, because it ain't changing till you change. And when you change, it changes. Now, the 12th thing I would tell myself, my 30, 40-year-old self, is make sure that you help other people and you give to other people. Not just to get something out of it, but you give and you help other people because it's just the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
See, I would tell my former self,
as many people as possible.
The price you pay for all the beauty of living and life itself is to give and help other people, because you're not in the world by yourself. And giving and helping others is a small price to pay for the beauty of life that we all enjoy. Now, the next thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is, please make a financial plan for your money and for your life with money.
Incredibly
and
important.
why? Because I want you to have some direction. See, I want the plan that you come up with, the strategy, the plan, the goals. I want those things to help guide your financial decisions. If you have no direction in life and with money, your life and money could end up anywhere. And all the decisions you make regarding money should be based on whether or not it fits in your strategy and your plan that you've come up with for your money. So develop that plan is what I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self. Now, the final thing that I would probably tell my 30 or 40-year-old self about life, about money, is that you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you react and how you think.
I've heard that my entire
life. Because how you
life.
think determines how you behave, and how you behave determines the results and the outcome, right? So your thinking really has a direct connection to your outcomes. So how you think matters. That's why you got to get your thinking right. If you get your thinking right, then you'll start to behave accordingly, and ultimately the outcomes will be based on your thoughts. So get the right thinking, get the right outcomes. Look, guys, I'm 54 years old, and I've seen a lot of 30 and 40-year-old people make some of the biggest financial mistakes of their life. Look, we can all blow off our 20s and be okay, but we can't blow off our 30s and 40s and have a good rest of our life in our 60s and 70s.
No chance.
So there you have it.
No
That's
chance.
what I would tell my 30 or 40-year-old self about money if I could go back and give some advice. As always, guys, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you.
All right, guys. Okay, hold on. All right. I did not expect for this type of video to be sent to me today, or I didn't. But it's interesting. It's incredibly intriguing. I mean, people perceive me as, based off some of the comments, someone said the other day that I'm elitist. I guess I act like I've never been poor or anything like that. But it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Just because I don't talk about things, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, you're encountering me right now after many life changes, right? And cutting off people that were just completely toxic, getting away from ideologies and thought processes that told me that I was literally a victim in life, right? Once I got to the point where I stopped looking at the world in the way that many people do, unfortunately, right? Things started changing for me very fast. All right. And a lot of this happened before I turned 20, early 20s and things like that. But yet cutting people off that just wanted to maintain, I'm a victim of my current circumstances, bro. You are, and you have the ability to succeed. What's happening in your life is you are holding yourself back by blaming everyone else for why you're failing. And I think once I kind of realized that specific thing, everything started doing this. Right? I started getting gigantic, again, I've been a photographer for over 2 decades, right? So I started getting gigantic like photography contracts in other countries, and like many countries. And a lot of these countries have really, really low cost of living. So you can maintain getting American salary in a foreign country while you're saving and still living adequately. These type of things were going on pretty well. I mean, for the beginning of time, basically, right? Not time, but for the beginning of my brand new life that I started living after I got rid of all the nonsense that was kind of clouding it, let's say. And just saving as much as I possibly can, and just maintaining positivity, positive thoughts, not allowing negative individuals to come anywhere near me, or involve themselves in my life in any meaningful manner. I cut out and cut off literally everyone in my life that plays the victim. Right? And that's kind of why, some people are like, oh, when you watch videos or, of like the toxicity in some of the cultures in the United States of America, let's say, I point out a lot of the things because it pisses me off that thing still exists. Like these, like certain like cultural groups should not act the way they kind of act, some of them, right? And that's kind of my dilemma. It's like, bro, we need to do better. No more victimhood. You yourself need to take personal responsibility for yourself, your actions, where you are, where you will be in the future, and start legitimately saving as much as humanly possible before you get to the point where you no longer are making any type of income, right? He mentioned earlier compounding interest. That's incredibly important, bro. All right. What you would like to do, or what you should do, what you should be doing is putting as much money into a high yield savings account as humanly possible, and allowing that interest to compound, right? And compound, right? Until you can get to the point where let's say the interest itself is enough to pay your yearly salary. That's what you need. Like whatever you set how much you need to survive, right? Like set that amount, and then try to save throughout your entire life until you can get to a certain amount of money where the interest itself equals whatever you want to live with in life. And then you can retire. You don't need anyone else to give you any type of handout to succeed. Trust me, you can do it yourself. Right. And literally, when I say every little bit counts, like there's been time where I've been able to put $20 towards my savings within my lifetime, right? $20, $10, right? Whatever you can put. Then there were months where I could put a lot more, but the goal is to get to the point where your high yield savings account is at the very least giving you an interest gain, let's say, of whatever you would like to live off of for the rest of your life. So if it's $5,000, the interest rate from your high yield savings account is going to be this. So, you need to put in that much money for the interest to be there. Right? And if you don't need it, right, you don't have to stop there. What you can do is you can allow that interest to stay in your account, and then there it goes. It's compounding, and the next year you have a bigger percentage. The next year you have a bigger percentage, right? I think that's kind of what he's referring to when he says, let the money work for you, at least. I think that's what he's talking about, right? There are many other ways, right? But you can also survive off of dividends. You can invest in like real estate REITs and things like that. Like there are a lot of ways to maintain your finances in a way that you can, in fact, turn around and retire and early or not, and just save until you actually need to retire. And now your interest is gigantic, and you're just like, I'm gonna go live somewhere else where the cost of living is cheaper. Right? But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Again, the name of the channel is Smart Money Bro. I did not expect a financial video, but we're here. Catch you guys later. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.